Welcome back to Conversation Podcast. Happy Saturday night. It's your boy Drew. Hey, look, there's been a lot of questions over the years about technology. It seems as though America is at the forefront of most technologies that we know of. And you have to ask yourself sometimes, where is the technology coming from? Either we got a lot of smart people, above average people, or we're getting it from somewhere else. Definitely. Now, back in 1954, it was alleged that I think President Eisenhower made some type of agreement with an alien race. It was called the Greada Treaty. It was what it was actually called. That's Greada Treaty. You guys might want to look that up. And according to this agreement, uh, the aliens would be allowed to abduct a certain amount of people for food and for experiments in exchange for technology. Supposedly, this agreement would end sometime around 2024 or 2025, supposedly. And at that time, there would be some type of disclosure. A lot of UFOologists are basically saying the last few years that 2024, 2025, 2026 sounds about right. It's about the time that these aliens would introduce themselves. Well, interestingly enough, back in 2024, around Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut. I mean, there were a lot of so-called sightings in New Jersey of these so-called extraterrestrial drones, which they try to explain these drones as American technology. But yet, America, for some reason, they were blaming it on Iran. Now, not only were these drones showing up at U.S. military bases, but they were showing up throughout the world at a lot of these military bases that had nuclear capabilities. A lot of them. As quickly as they came, they were gone. And didn't hear anything more about them for 2024 up until the early part of 2026, in which they seemed to make a return. These so-called drones or orbs or whatever you want to call them. Now, there's been rumors as well. A matter of fact, it's fact. New Jersey State Police actually made a report back in early 2025. They said it's seen a fleet of hundreds of them coming out of the ocean. I mean, they panicked. They actually called that in. Those are facts. You can actually look that up. Uh, Again, no one took it seriously. It was downplayed by the government. Now, they used technology, so-called drone killing technology, to try to take down one of these drones. Did not work. So you would think that it was some type of technology that we knew about, or even, let's just say a foreign country had made some type of advancements, that it would reasonably work to maybe bring one of those things down. But yet, the government made this comment not to try to shoot these things down. Now, why would they say that? Now, if they're trying to bring one down to see what it is, but they tell the people not to shoot it down, something's going on with that. You would think that they would want to get their hands on one in any way possible. You would actually think that, at least I would. But anyway, recently it's come to light as well that a lot of those scientists that were involved in these technologies have been disappearing. Strangely, a couple of them have allegedly committed suicide. Some of them have gone missing. I mean, it's just out of hand. Now you can say one, two, three. Well, that's questionable that they could come up missing or dead. You know, people die all the time. But the very fact that 11 has gone missing before anyone has actually said anything, you know, President Trump actually made a comment Thursday. They were actually, this past Thursday, they were actually investigating this scenario and what's going on with these scientists. And it's interesting that he made a comment when he first came in office as well that he would be releasing UFO documents and files. Haven't heard anything more about it. Nothing. Nothing more. So that in itself is of interest. And all these guys All these scientists that disappeared had top secret clearances, the very highest clearances that you could get, dealing with technologies that most people never even heard of. But I'm gonna give you a little rough clip of something that was on the news briefly and let you guys think for yourselves. Let you see it, then we'll talk about it a little further.
11th scientist with connections to top secret government secrets who has died or gone missing within the last 4 years under mysterious conditions. And conspiracy theories are ballooning online. President Trump even addressing the ongoing mystery yesterday, confirming the U.S. government is looking into it.
Well, I hope it's random, but we're going to know in the next week and a half. I just left a meeting on that subject, so pretty serious stuff, but we're going to be hopefully, I don't know, coincidence, whatever you want to call it, but some of them were very important people, and we're going to look at it over the next
National correspondent Nancy Liu is live in Los Angeles. So, Nancy, what do we know about this possible 11th case?
Well, Nicole, just before her death in 2022, Amy Eskridge had announced plans to present her groundbreaking work with anti-gravity technology. The 34-year-old had been openly experimenting in the field and founded a research company called the Institute for Exotic Science to establish a more public space for developments in anti-gravity work. Her death from a supposed self-inflicted gunshot wound has long been questioned since she had expressed that her life was in danger at the time. Eskridge worked closely with her father. And according to NASA, Richard Eskridge is a retired engineer whose many projects included novel work on a system to propel a spacecraft with high-speed plasmoids. Well, I spoke with him briefly today, and he dismissed any link between the death of his daughter to the 10 other scientists who've mysteriously died or gone missing over the past few years. All had links to government secrets and programs tied to military defense and UFOs. Richard Eskridge, he did not want to be interviewed, but he told me on the phone, scientists die also.
Scientists do die all the time. In one interview, in regards to something with his daughter, they could perhaps clear up things. It smells like fear to me. It smells like he fears something, or he knows something. It's unfortunate that our government and governments in general throughout the world hide things from the people. There's so many things out there that I'm sure that we have no knowledge of and that our government is doing. The so-called Greada Treaty that I was telling you guys about, I would not doubt that that's real at all. I'm not saying it is, but I would not doubt it at all. Because again, if you look the last few years, how many people are disappearing and you're not finding a trace of them? Even when I was a kid, people disappeared all the time, but you'd find them at some time and point, whether they were living or whether they were deceased or whatever. But now it seems when people disappear, they disappear. Space to Earth, no traces. And you would think today with the technology, with all these camera lights and cameras everywhere throughout the country, like where you go, cameras, it'd be easier to find people, but yet it's more difficult. The more things change, the more things go for the worse, it seems. Now, I'm not saying that these things are true, but it's just something to think about. The so-called UFO technologies that we allegedly have and alleged so-called bodies that there's been rumored that our military has, some of these things are starting to show to be truth. And you have an actual sitting Congress member who actually says that is true and that the U.S. government is actually in possession of extraterrestrials, bodies, and technology. But he can't disclose because certain things are top secret. But he can say as a citizen that it absolutely exists. But he just can't get into the details of what and how exists. Now, is there going to be some type of disclosure of that all these UFOologists have been talking about for years in regards to our government saying, oh, yeah, alien technology exists, aliens are here, and they've been here for a long time. I seriously doubt that the government will actually come forward with that. But it's interesting that not only did former President Obama mention that, even though it appeared to be joking, but then it's the response of Donald Trump, President Trump, how he came back. Oh, he shouldn't have said that. Violation of top secret. So the very fact that he said that, and it was quick to accuse former President Obama of violating, or special orders, that it says something's probably up. Something is definitely probably up. And then he said himself he's going to release these files, UFO files, or Epstein files, whatever you want to say. But anyway, nothing has happened. Absolutely nothing has happened, as we know. But this is just something for you guys to think about. Ask yourself questions. Why are people disappearing? Could it possibly be true, as the Greada Treaty said, that they are taking people for food experiments? Would you put it past our government to sell us out to do that? I wouldn't. I'd not put anything past our government, these so-called elitists, because they do what they want, when they want, with whoever they want. But hope you guys look at this a little further. I did a story earlier on it, the Greada Treaty. But again, sometimes the truth seems strange. But please like, share this video. Please subscribe. Black Alert Radio FTP. FTP is for the people. I'm your boy Drew, and I am out.